Hello, all things Hadar. Welcome. So glad that you are here. For those of you who are new, welcome. We're glad that you've decided to join us. We hope that the video resonates with you and or the channel resonates with you. If this particular video does not resonate with you, I invite you to feel free to go check out any of the other videos that are a part of this channel. If you're wanting to know any more about me, how I read, or what I do in addition to my YouTube channels, you can find that information in the link to my website in the description box below. And for those of you who are returning, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for returning. I just really thank you and appreciate each and every one of you for your continued support, for you being a part of this channel. And just really moving on your own behalf, which also helps to move on the behalf of the entire Hadarian collective. Okay, so with all of that said, we are going, I would like to ask to hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and of course, share with anyone that you feel could resonate or that you feel, even if you're just excited, oh my gosh, look at this, is what I saw today and it spoke to me, you know, kind of thing. But all of these things do help me. Yes, of course. They do help my channel, of course. But even bigger and more importantly, they help our collective and they help humankind to become aware, to heal, to have a new understanding, to be exposed maybe to something that could shine a light on something for them. It's going to be different for everybody. Anyway, thank you so much. Thank you for letting me have that. So here we go. We're going to jump in. So a little story. This is the deck we're going to be starting out with. It's the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck by Kim Kranz. And the interesting thing about this is, so I just have to tell you guys. So I, do my normal thing, right? I get myself grounded and connected, and I run some infusions on myself and make sure my space and myself are nice and clean and all of that good stuff, right? And then I ask, what decks are we going to be using today? And I'm usually guided to whatever combination that we're going to be using. And today it was no different. And immediately my eyes zoned in on the box for this deck. And I said out loud, I was like, okay, so we're going to be talking about bridging something together, because this is the deck I typically use when we're talking about archetypes, or not even archetypes, but just concepts or things going on of this is where we are, this is where we want to go to next, and this is the bridge in between, right? So I get 3 cards. And so when I saw the deck and what they showed me, I said, so we're going to be talking about bridges today. And then I was, doing my pre-shuffle and right? And this card kept jumping out at me repeatedly as I was, doing this and stuff. I would see it, or when I was, doing the shuffling. Now look at this. When you're shuffling, right? I don't know if you'll be able to see very well because of the angle, but I mean, I'm shuffling like this. You really don't see the cards. And yet I kept seeing it, like when I would do the split, or when I would just do it, because I start out with them a little tipped and then I go downward, right? And then when it comes to shuffling them, oh my goodness, they're just going everywhere now. Oops, hang on. Sorry about that. I hit the button on the earpiece and it shut it off. Anyway, when I shuffle this way, I don't typically see the cards, right? Because I'm seeing the back. And yet, I don't know. It was like maybe I was doing an over exaggerated flip. I don't know, but I kept seeing this card and I was like, okay, I get it. We're doing bridges. And then it fell out, and it's called the bridge. And I just thought that that was really funny, and I had to share that with you guys. So today we're going to be talking about the bridge. Whatever it is that we're wanting to bridge together, okay? And the message about the bridge is the connection, the link, the gate. The connection, the link, the gate. And I thought that that was pretty amazing. And it says, bridges are built to connect two worlds. They create flow, allowing us to travel between realms, ideologies, personalities, and much more, right? This archetype is the gesture of acceptance, of saying yes, rather than withdrawing, separating, and saying no. When we cross the bridge to an unknown land, we are led magically into a new reality. We open up to otherness. Healing and communication are made possible. We enter a state of curiosity, wonder, and learning. And then it goes on and it says, this card asks us to study the connections between the seemingly disconnected parts of our life. Relationships, ideologies, histories, etc. Remember that a bridge cannot be forced. It must be made with love, or its structure will not withstand the inevitable weather of life. When it is in alignment, it is about acceptance, magic, and communication. When it is out of alignment, it's about lacking boundaries and forcing connection. We have imagine building a bridge, then imagine building a wall. Which energy is needed for the situation at hand? Which image softens and heals the heart? And then the other side just says, lie on the floor and listen to the Bridge Over Troubled Water song. And notice the ease and acceptance within the melody, the feeling of rising above the muck. So we're not going to look in that again. So clearly the topic that we're going to be talking about today is going to be a bridge. So let's get going here. Let's, utmost high, I say utmost high, you can plug in God, source, spirit, universe, ancestors, great spirit, whatever that is for you. Okay. Let's get a picture here of where we are and then where we're going next. And then we'll look at the bridge. So first, let's look at where are we? And this is a collective reading. It is general. Napoleon. Rugen, get down. Psh, psh, lady, leave him alone. That's the other cat. One of the other cats. Rugen comes in, but he's very quiet. He likes to come in and just gaze out the patio doors or sit in the window. And he does like to climb. So he gets into trouble because he climbs up everything and usually knocks everything over. All right, come on here. Let's get a card. Let's see where we're at. Feel free to fast forward to having the card out. I don't rush spirit. Again, this is about being in the flow. Oh, and they mentioned it in the book about the bridge. So yeah, this is just about being in the flow. So utmost high, just whatever messages you want to bring forward of where we are for the collective. Thank you. All right, so we have the cave. So we have, so on the outskirts here, it looks like, what do you call it? When something is in silhouette, it looks like a reversed silhouette of plant life, which to me makes me think of nature. Of course, we're talking about the cave, something that is inside, right? You're inside of something. Excuse me. And then we have two different hands here. I say two different. They could be the same. I don't know, but they look like, one way to me, they almost look like they're one hand of two different people. And then other times when I glance, it's like, no, that's two hands of the same person. So it may be both depending on yourself. We do have two eyes that are like not fully open. They're open, but they're not fully open. But we have this light. We have this beautiful light here, which to me would be looking like it's up in the crown chakra area. So it is the cave, which is interesting because, you know, we have the bridge here. We're talking about bridges. So I would think that the conversation is probably going to be something around, you know, coming. Yeah, okay. We'll read the cave before we go to the next thing. Oh, wow. Oh, no. Never mind. I was wrong. I was thinking it was the very next one, and yeah, it's not. Okay. So the cave. This is so interesting, guys. All right. The dark, the portal. And I love that they use the word portal here, because there's an opening, right? There's a way to get into the cave and a way to get out of the cave. Sometimes there's more than one way. Sometimes there's only one way. The dark, the portal, the interior. Those who are fortunate enough to find and enter the cave are forever changed. It is a place of potent power, acting both as a portal to another realm and a space for sacred ritual and initiation. The cave is a place to return for meaningful retreat, where one can see the true self in the darkness. In esoteric teachings, the cave is known to reside in the center of the heart. Within its walls, the whispers of compassion and self-understanding can be heard. Yet, because of its mystery and power, many of us fear the cave and never try to find it. We busy ourselves in the bright light of the city, while the cavernous and dimly lit chamber calls out to us in the night. So where is your cave? You already know. Return to it and tend to the fire. So we have slowly and steadily, crystals are of enormous magnitude, grow within the dark confines of caves. Let the cave teach you patience. Envision yourself as an old sage in a cave. What amenities do you need? What draws you ever closer to the cave within the cave? When in alignment, the sacred center within. When it's out of alignment, it's withdrawn, isolation, and hiding. Okay? So I would say, considering we're talking about connection, the link and the gate, right? We're talking about bridging things. We're talking about acceptance and magic and communication. And then over here, we're talking about this cave, right? The inner cave within the heart that has all that esoteric teachings. It has that compassion and self-understanding. Okay? So, you know, sometimes people will look at too, like, you know, dark night of the soul or the void, or, you know, however you want to label it. There is potential when we go within, or even sometimes we are pushed in that direction and we accept and go into that direction due to experiences that we've had that leave us needing healing. And we can go into the hermit's cave or the cave or into a time of the dark night of the soul. And in that healing process, you know, it's getting to that place where we can shift from, you know, isolating ourselves, closing ourselves off, right? Like it was saying, and from isolating ourselves, keeping ourselves separate, from not looking at what we don't want to see or what we feel like we can't accept or we're not ready to accept, right? So we can go into this cave space, and as we go in and we hold that potential to open the portal into our inner cave, in our inner heart, and learn about our own esoteric teachings that we actually hold within this space, right? We can learn to be compassionate towards ourselves. We can learn about our own self-understanding, self-discovery, self-love, the self, right? I'm going to be very interested to see. I wish I had a little, oh, I do. Let me do this so that we're not having to look each time if we want to go back and look at something. All right, so let's look and see. I'm actually really excited to see. Most High, where is it that we're wanting to go next? Where is it that we're wanting to go next? Whether this is something that we've learned in the cave, or it's our time to come out of the cave, or something to learn while in the cave. Maybe some of us are going in. We'll see. We'll see. As always, guys, only take what resonates and leave the rest. If this isn't your reading, there are several readings that I invite you to go check out, available to you for this channel. All right, we have the vessel. Is there more than one card here? Oh, I guess not. All right, so we have the vessel. And what I find interesting about this, I see the oranges and the yellows, maybe a touch of the reds. So maybe about the lower chakras. There may be some healing to take place in that. There is this, like, you know, I feel like it's almost like either this darkness is, I'm hearing hurtling towards this, or this is hurtling itself towards the light, which is also yellow and orange. And I'll hold this up in a second. I feel like it's saying, you know, there's a lot about the body, the vessel, that is looking for and would like support at this time to help itself, to become stronger, to heal, which may be what we've been, one of the things we've discovered about being while we were in the cave, or maybe that was one of the things that whatever we've learned there is going to bring us towards, I'm sorry, trying to find the page, bringing us towards the other, there we go. All right, the vessel, the body. Let me get another marker here. The vessel, the vessel. So the body, the container, the cup. The body, the container, the cup. Okay. The vessel may be the most powerful archetypal form on Earth. It is everywhere. Cups hold liquid, stoves hold fire, our bodies hold organs, our homes hold families. Through the simple act of separation, the vessel protects what it contains. Nests protect the eggs, savings accounts protect our earnings. Even the plants are contained within their circular orbit. I'm sorry, planets. Planets are contained within their circular orbit. When this card appears, it's time to assess what is being held together and how. Is the vessel too tight, too loose, broken, empty, full? Or perhaps there is no vessel at all, and the contents spill in every direction. It is natural for structures to be formed and eventually fall apart. The vessel has a life cycle that must be honored. It is time for you to build, break, or repair. Or I'm sorry, is it time for you to build, break, or repair? You must find out. When this is in alignment, it is stable, strong, and graceful. When it is out of alignment, it is trapped, being in a bubble. Okay? We have the physical body is the most sacred vessel of all. It is the one in which you reside from your first breath to your last. It may need your attention. And the mentor and the healer must pay particular attention to this archetypal form. Healing cannot be sustained without a strong container. So, I would say, to me, this is talking a great deal about self-care. self-care, self-love, self-support, self-nurturing. And again, it's that going within, right? And it had questions. It had questions there for us to ask ourselves, right? So, you know, is it time for us to build, break, or repair? What if so, which of those? Or are there multiples? And once that's figured out, it's like, okay, so then what can I do to do that? How can I best help and support myself in doing that? Right? And again, I feel it makes sense. This is what we do when we're in the cave. And then when we come to some answers, and they feel like one of the things that we're going to be wanting to work on or move to next is going to be the body, the human body, the vessel. What are you ingesting? What are you expelling? What are you, this is too many. What is it that your body needs at this time to support yourself? Okay. So now let's talk about the bridge, O Most High. Let's talk about that bridge to get us from here to here. Let's talk about the archetype to get from the cave to the vessel. Let's talk about that bridge, please. Oh, man. Oh, let's hope I can reach it this time without. All right. The eternal child. Okay. Well, right away with it seeing that, I'm thinking about playfulness. I'm thinking about, so let me show it to you. The eternal child. Okay. We have the rainbow of colors. We have going from black and white to this rainbow of color. We have this beautiful, I mean, I'm just literally hearing solar energy, sun energy, which is mimicked. It's more white in here with almost like a orangey, reddish, orangey outer glow. But over here it is definitely in a yellow and orange. And here we have red, yellow, and orange. So again, lower chakras. Anyway, let me finish this part first. Okay. So you can see that even though there's multiple colors in this one, there's rainbow of colors, plus a lot of blue in the background, a lot of white. And yes, there is some black in here, but you know, if we don't have things that are what we view as negative or bad, then we have like no incentive to push forward and make things different. For the eternal child, I'm really feeling like, look at the lower chakras. Look up things about the lower chakras. Looking up not just the chakras and like what do they not just what do they represent in the sense of like, you know, your creativity, your self-empowerment, but look at things like body structure wise, what are they linked to? Like, are they linked to an organ? Are they linked to your skeletal system? Are they linked to, you know, emotions? Are they linked to, you know, look at all the things that they're linked to. Maybe not all the things because you could be researching forever. But, you know, I would suggest looking up a few different things, see what resonates with you and start there. Because again, that could, you know, yeah, I really feel like that's going to be something that would be very beneficial for you. And I feel like it's something that would help you to be able to help and support yourself in a more efficient way, if you will, because it's going to help us to know, okay, so yes, I understand it's time to look within and get grounded, really get connected into my true inner, utmost inner heart. Okay. And that from this, it's going to be taking us at some point in some way to the vessel, to our bodies, to our temple. as an individual, which is our body, right? And then what in our body is needing support and assistance at this time? What is our body trying to tell us? And I would even invite you to have a session with yourself, right? Get yourself grounded and connected. Doing that in whatever way it is that works for you, that you enjoy, that you like. Get yourself grounded and connected with yourself. Get yourself connected to the core and the heart of Mother Gaia. Get yourself connected into the eye and heart of, utmost high, God, source, spirit, universe, whatever it is that whatever higher power it is that you connect with, or your soul self, right? And ask those questions. What is it that I can do to best support and help myself, my vessel, my temple right now? What is my temple wanting me to know? What is my temple wanting to communicate to me? And then bring to me the next step. Great to have a big picture. Focus on the current step. And then asking to be consciously aware of, to recognize and understand what's my next step that's going to get me to this, fulfilling whatever this is that my vessel, my temple, my body needs. Okay? So the eternal child. We have the inner child, the child of joy. The eternal child is connected to the timeless, ageless, infinite aspects of life. It is radiant and fearless and seeks joy above all else and at any cost. It struggles being bound to an aging body. So again, see, we're talking about the body here. It's very, very clear. It struggles being bound to an aging body with physical limitations in a world that demands attention to detail and logistics. The eternal child wants to nix all the rules and responsibilities and go beyond what others say is possible. It wants to return, with plenty of friends, to the land of the free, where divine wine and creativity pour from the earth and sky. We all want a sip from the well of eternal youth, and this makes the eternal child naturally popular, perhaps even famous. The eternal child glimmers. It reminds us of what is possible, what is magical about this precious life. When it is in alignment, it's joyful, playful, and accepts all. It's magic. When it's out of alignment, it is about addiction, selfish, adrift, burns out. Okay? We have celebrity culture is based heavily on this archetype, as is the phrase, live hard, die young, and the series of artists and musicians who died at 27. Interesting. This archetype is so spirited that when its appetite for life isn't sated, it seeks spirits and substance elsewhere. The eternal child struggles with addictions of all varieties. So, again, though, because this is being shown to us as the bridge, I feel like the main thing that stood out to me is going beyond what others say is possible. Going beyond what others say is possible. They want to nix the rules, right? They want, and again, because this is about the body and physical limitations. So here's the thing. I feel like there are things that we can do to go beyond what others are telling us, that this is what your life is going to be like now, right? You're going to have to deal with this and this and this, and you can't change that, and blah, 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 blah. And I feel like there are times where that's not true. But we buy into it. We buy into it, just like they've bought into it. It's when you get into the whole thing of where they do washing and laundering, shall we say, of the wiring and the mapping of our thoughts. And I feel like there is definitely bringing in that childlike wonder and the childlike belief that you don't have to live within the limitations that others try to force upon you or that others feed us. We don't have to believe those. I feel like, and this has really been and I really feel like this is a collective message more than it is about an individual. I heard something on a platform, and I have to be, looking at how I word things, right? But there was a platform, and it was talking about how, and they were presenting it as kind of like the whole, more power to our devices and things was such a good idea, and giving away all of our, or sharing of all of our information was such a good idea. But it was being presented as this thing was a new and such a good idea. And it's like, wow. And there's going to be so many people that buy into it and that believe it and that are fully on board with it. And that is literally altering and changing plant life. And that's exactly what gets put into our vessel, right? And I feel like there's this, I feel like for our collective, for, yes, Hadar and Hadarians, for humanity, for the plant kingdom, for the animal kingdom, for air and water and all of that other stuff. and I'm not wanting to get, all into, I'm just sharing that I feel like we do not have to buy into things that we are being told about our vessels and just say, well, that's true. That we're being invited to look at things from that childlike perspective of, I understand you're telling me that, but that doesn't have to be my world, right? Because the child wants to go beyond what others say is possible. It's okay to dream, and it's okay to move towards our dreams and our goals, and literally not live with the limitations of other people's perspectives, the limitations of what we're being told. So, maybe you've been told, well, you're just never going to be able to change this or that, or well, you're not going to be able to shift this or that, or well, you're not going to be. How many people have, had huge physical, limitations that they've been told, well, this is just how it's all always going to be. And they've said no. They said, no, that's not going to be my story. I don't accept that. And they've worked very hard and they've made changes. And I would say even for those who make changes and they see just tiny incremental change, it's still change. For those who feel they have seen no change, it still is a journey, and it still holds potential to show us a great deal. It still holds potential to show us a great deal. And I feel like it's really important to really be connected into our inner self, into our heart center. And then asking ourselves, what would you like me to do? Body, temple, whatever, vessel, whatever you want to name it. What is something that I can do right now, well within my reach, to support you? Whether that is in this moment, whether that is, revamping a whole thing. And I would say, don't allow yourself to get overwhelmed, right? Again, know the big picture, but what is the one step, the one next step? Well, it seems to me the next step is getting in touch with the childlike wonder, exuberance, excitement, and beliefs that I don't have to have limitations that other people put on me. And then start paying attention. What are those limitations that other people have taught you, or that they talk about and that you agree with, that are like, wow, that is a limitation. Do I want that limitation? Is that limitation my story? Is that what I really believe? If it is what I really believe, do I want to believe that way? And if not, then what kind of belief would I want in place of that? And then again, as always, you know, I would say be doing this stuff with paper and pen, getting yourself grounded and connected, going in, putting on your detective hat, asking your questions. And then once you've asked those questions, okay, so if I know I've identified this, I know I don't want this one, I don't want to believe this way, think this way, or hold this limitation. So, okay, I'm going to release that, clear that out, and completely and thoroughly, right? I'm going to clean that space out now where that free space is. I'm going to wash it. I'm going to clean it and make it just brand spanking new and healthy and strong. And this is what I want to put in its place. And I really feel like it is a process. And I feel like, you know, there's the steps. There's things that you can do. And it's funny because I don't know if you saw me doing that. There's this tiny gnat that is like flying around my face as I start talking about this. And I feel like that is like so part of the reading because again, right? People are going to be saying, well, you can't do that. Well, that's ridiculous. Well, nobody can change this or that. Well, this is fixed. Well, this is blah, blah, blah. And they're going to be very persistent, poking, right? They're going to be very persistent. But again, you can be just as persistent and I don't accept that. That's not going to be my story. Nope. Right? And if you need support and help in having a cheerleader or having somebody to help you and walk through that process, then reach out and find someone. Okay, let's get a little bit more. Let's get something on the cave here. Actually, they're telling me let's go to a different deck. What deck are we going to use? All right. Let's get a little more on the cave, shall we? Actually, I forgot. This deck is actually a good size because it's small enough that I can do that. And I like decks that let me do that. All right. Let's get a little more on the cave, please. Let's get a little more on the cave, please. Yeah. So I feel like, all right, I'll answer that in a minute. So I'm not going to keep all that, by the way, just because it's too many cards, but I will show you what they are and what I get off of it. So the cave, like I said, I don't know if you remember, I had said a lot of times we get pushed or we choose to go into the cave due to a heartbreak of some sort, and the Three of Swords has made itself known. We do have the Nine of Pentacles here along with the Three of Swords. So this can go a couple of different ways, more than that, but the ones that are coming to me are, I feel like there was some sort of a heartbreak, and either that like crumbled this financial strength and financial independence that you were enjoying when that happened, which pushed you into this cave, or you chose to withdraw and go into that cave. Or this happened, this heartbreak happened, betrayals, backstabbing, could be somebody who was exposed to a third-party situation and they found out about it, or they were participating in it, and then of course everything crumbled. And maybe while you're in the cave, you're thinking, you know what, I want this, I want to be independent. I want to be financially free and financially stable on my own, and that way, you know, when and if I get involved in something else, this is secure because it's mine and it's dependent on me, and it's because it's a result, an outcome because of my work, right? And these are the ones I'm going to be putting back because again, I'm not trying to get a whole bunch of cards for each thing. We have the King of Swords, the Strength card, and the Seven of Pentacles, and I feel like it's just solidifying, if you will. Again, you know, when stuff like this happens, we have to learn to cut things out. We cut things out that just don't make sense, right? This is where we make choices and decisions that are logical, well thought out. We've done our research. They're educated decisions and choices. Does that mean and guarantee that they will always work out perfectly? No. But it means that we have done our work, we've done the best we can, and we move forward. It's also about communication, justice. For me as a reader, the swords talk about justice. It talks about swift action. We also see the butterfly sitting on the back of his throne, which to me is talking about transformation. This has taken a great deal of strength. This is about mastery. Mastery of the emotions. I would also say mastery about the mental and the emotional. This is somebody who has learned how to not let the mind run away with them and take control and just go crazy, right? Thinking all these things or ruminating or, you know, you have this issue and we've made it in, you know, mountains out of molehills kind of thing. This is the strength card to me is about mastery. This is about something, or even being in the cave, can oftentimes be something that really takes a lot of strength to go in there and, especially to get to that place where we're like, okay, you know what? I'm done with doing this. I'm tired of being in here. I need to do something with my time in here. What can I do to best help and support myself while I'm in here? What can I learn? What can I process? What can I let go of? It's a lot of self-mastery. And, you know, we have this Seven of Pentacles here that comes out here at the end. And I feel like this is talking about, you know what? It's the learning new things. This is about learning something new so that we can come out on top, so that we can recreate or create for the first time this financial stability that is ours this time, because it feels like it wasn't totally our own. Okay, let's talk about the eternal child. The eternal child. So if you remember what I read about the eternal child, there are things that, you know, just like anything else, right? There's the positive, the negative, the dark, the light, the opposite polarities. It is very much about getting into a place and a space that is neutral or centered, balanced, however you want to word that. Interestingly enough, we have the magician. The child's mind believes in magic, and I believe it even says that in here. I want to say it says it believes in magic. I guess not. Yeah, it does. When it's in alignment, it's joyful, playful, and it accepts all, and it's magic. So, yeah, I feel, again, in alignment, when it's in alignment. So I feel like, you know, for the eternal child, we got the magician and temperance. The magician and temperance. And both major arcana cards, by the way. And I feel like this is talking about something that, you know, the childlikeness, the playfulness of being the magician, believing in magic, and having all the tools to do that, being able to create your bounty. Look at all the flowers at the bottom of this card, right? The infinity symbol above her head. She's joyful. She's happy. Even in the temperance, she's happy. She's got a smile on her face. And the temperance I feel here is just talking about balance more than it is talking about patience. I feel it is talking about, again, she's got 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the ground. So very grounded and, you know, allowing yourself to have your emotions and feel your emotions, but being very grounded, very centered, very focused at the same time. She is pouring, and she's pouring in an odd angle and like far away from each other, but yet it's going directly into the cup. This is about, again, mastery. It is about balance. It is about Oh, wait. Did I just see a card? Yeah, look at that. Yeah, see? And do we have any other ones that turned over and I didn't notice? Nope. Seven of Swords. Leaving behind the stuff that doesn't work. Oh, I put him back. The King of Swords. So with this, again, you know, this is leaving behind that which doesn't work. And again, this could have been about, or it could be about somebody who's being very deceitful, very sneaky, you know, betrayals and stuff. But the child, you know, is like, you know what, that's not important. Go away. I'm focusing on the fun. I'm focusing on this. And I don't mean that in a sense of just ignoring it. I'm saying I refuse to accept it. That's not going to be my story. Okay. And again, when you look at the vessel, you know, and you heartache can cause all sorts of other things, right? All sorts of other side effects. And I heard sound effects, echoes. Wow. Okay. So we can have a lot of echoes from the past that want to come up and intrude. But here's the thing. We'll look, you know, first we can look at them as an intrusion, right? But when we're in the cave, these are things that come forward so that we can acknowledge them, process them, and release them and truly let them go. Because all of these things also take their toll on the body. All right, let's get some more on the vessel, please. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. So again, we have the Chariot, and again we have the Seven of Pentacles. The Chariot and the Seven of Pentacles. Now the Seven of Pentacles came out over here with the King of Swords, and I forget the other one. But I feel like it's saying the work that you've done, the work that you're putting forward, the training, the paying your dues, as Joey had said, you know, and he's got his eye on the trophy. He's doing the work. He is doing the work. So whatever it is the vessel is needing, you're doing the work when you're over on here on this point. So you're utilizing this bridge to get you over here. You're doing the work and it is going to pay off for you. And it may seem like it's not going to, because it's interesting, right? We have the Temperance card right next to the Chariot. Temperance people also often look at as a pause or as patience or as a time of, you know, limbo or being on a pause. And we can get very restless in that time, especially the more progress we make, the more restless we can become, because we're like, oh my gosh, isn't it time yet? Oh my gosh, isn't it time yet? Interestingly enough, we had the Five of Swords on the bottom of the deck. This was about leaving stuff behind, and this is a victory over whatever the challenges were. It was a very long and drawn out, a lot of casualties along the way, but and there was the Ace of Pentacles behind that. A brand new beginning and one of financial, a large financial new beginning. A large financial new beginning. Which again, we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles. So I do feel like this is saying whatever message or messages you're getting about your body, and even if you feel like you're not getting any messages, just take a look at what you're ingesting. What are you eating? What are you drinking? Are you doing anything recreationally that you know that it's not supportive of your vessel? I would say, even if you feel like you have tried to tune in, you're not getting anything, I would say, listen to the eternal child that says, I can make this fun. I don't have to be limited. This isn't going to be my story. I know that my vessel could feel better and work better for me if I did ABC. And pick one. You know, again, remembering not to allow yourself to get overwhelmed by, I see the big picture, I'm going to do it all at one time, because that usually very quickly gets us into nowhere, gets us into quitting before we've even started. Have the big picture. There's nothing wrong with that, but then do one step at a time. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have? Nope, that's too many. What else do we have? Do you have any other messages for us? Thank you. Yeah, see, celebrate all wins, big and small. Celebrate all wins, big and small. Anything else? Do you have anything else that you would like to bring out? And I feel like there is. Oh, thank you. Stay your course. All storms pass. You will bask in the sun again. All storms pass. You will bask in the sun again. So boundaries is on the bottom of the deck, and I believe one of these archetypes said something about boundaries, I thought. But if not, it's very, very clear. Boundaries are extremely, extremely important. Whether they are boundaries we put in place to have for ourselves with ourselves, or boundaries that we put in place around others, whether that's people, places, experiences, things, etc., etc. And again, guys, as always, if you find you need support, if you find you need assistance, do your research. Go find it. Whatever that looks like for you. Okay? Anyways, guys, I hope this message resonated with you. I hope it made sense for you and that it opened you up to shifting your course. And shifting your course to staying your course for you, for your vessel. Taking that time to get connected in with your innermost heart, your innermost self, the cave that is within the self, where we can learning how to bridge. And notice how the bridge is rainbow colored. And so we see, again, the rainbow here with the child, with the eternal child. So I really, anyways, I hope this message was really good for you guys. I hope it is supportive. Please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. The notification bell and sharing. Until next time, guys, talk to you soon. Bye.